Music. What genre of music do you turn to listen to when you need to do anything? Whether it be to relax, to help your emotions, to help you study, or just your overall mindset. It's an art form that comes in all certain styles. Majority of us listen to music and play what we think is good. Some people like pop, some people like hip-hop, rap, R&B, country, whatever the taste may be. But it all has one thing in common. It all stems from sound. But one style that I think that stands out from the rest is the style of lo-fi hip-hop. But before I go into that topic, I would like to welcome you to my podcast, where I go in depth of the impact and influence of lo-fi hip-hop. I'm your host, Amir Arceo, and lo-fi hip-hop has impacted the music industry due to its unique style and influence on culture. Now let's get into the topic. Now you may be asking yourself, what is lo-fi? Short for low fidelity, it's music production characterized by its intentionally relaxed, calm, and perfect sound. It typically uses elements like calming beats and samples. It has gained a lot of popularity over the years and is seen as a background genre, or more like music for relaxation, like when you're studying or just want something not too loud or too intense. In particular, it has become an important subgenre for its smooth light beats that combine its style with the characteristics of hip-hop. And that will be my main focus today. So now that's out the way, how did I even get interested in this topic? Around the summer of 2020, I was just scrolling through YouTube, a typical thing a 14-year-old me would do, but I stumbled upon a clip of this one scene that seems pretty interesting to me. The clip starts with a scene in the hallway, and this girl is walking, and some guy is next to her, sweeping the wall for some oddly reason. But then after a few words said to each other, they start fighting. It was a pretty cool fight scene. The choreography was real nice, but what really caught my attention was this tune that was playing in the background. It was this very smooth jazz light sounding tune, and from that moment I was just memorized by it. The sound really made me feel like almost surreal, and I was just thinking to myself, like, damn man, this is cool. It's not often you see an animated fight scene with some jazz tune playing in the background. But after that, I got into the series from the video, Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is a neo-noir space western anime show. I really loved the way the show mixed multiple genres at the time. It really was a new thing for me because before I was just into simple things. But after discovering it, it was an amazing show. But right after finishing Bebop, I learned that the director of the show, Shinichiro Watanabe, has another anime show.
Samurai Champloo.
Now, Samurai Champloo was really, I don't know how to say it. Like really the realization that I'm really just, I fell in love with it, So for the people that don't know Samurai Champloo, it's an animated television series that aired in 2004, and it's basically about this waitress named Fu who stumbles upon these two swordsmen, Mugen and Jin, and go on an adventure to find a samurai who smells of sunflowers.
What the hell is a sunflower anyway?
But it really just taught me so many things. The whole Edo samurai period in the midst of hip-hop, just something about it really made me feel like some type of way. I enjoy the characters. Jin is my favorite. The storytelling, its animation, all of its elements, and most importantly the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing. So Samurai Champloo really holds a special place in my heart. But so does Cowboy Bebop, because without Cowboy Bebop, I wouldn't even know what the lo-fi hip-hop genre is today, let alone who knows what I would have even stumbled upon back then. But why did I choose this topic? After watching Samurai Champloo, lo-fi hip-hop became my favorite genre of music. I discovered producers like Nuchipes, Force of Nature, Jay Dilla, Madlib, Fat John, the list goes on. But my favorite song ever is actually a lo-fi hip-hop produced song, Just Forget by Force of Nature. But with all that I learned and know from the years, I still know very little of the actual genre itself. So choosing this topic and researching about it will definitely improve my knowledge for this, and I just really want to get to know what goes behind and like how just the whole topic started. But also, why should people know more about this topic? Lo-fi hip-hop is such an interesting and unique style of sound to listen to. When I first got into the genre, I was just so confused but yet amazed on how the style sounded. And the samples that were used too, it was like an art style that you can hear, you know? I just think there is nothing like this sound. Some genres have some unique elements, but I personally think lo-fi hip-hop stands out. That's why people should try to know more, to understand how music is just more than just sounds playing in your ears. But with all that being said, it's time to get into my evidence. First source is an interview of Kanye West in 2013 where he speaks about Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla, a very famous producer and often considered as one of the fathers of lo-fi hip-hop. But Kanye says, but Dilla, every time that kid just sat so perfectly. His swings, his shuffles, his snare choices, the way he sampled stuff, it just sounded like drugs. His music just sounded so good. This just goes to show the influence lo-fi hip-hop can have on the music industry. And Kanye, a 24 Grammy winning nominee, so you know, it really just, if he can take inspo from the likes of someone like Jay Dilla, it shows like what it does for the music industry and how far it can take it. And he's not wrong too. My second source is a YouTube video titled How Nujabes Influenced Lo-Fi Hip Hop by Genius. Substantial, a close friend of Nujabes and a very well accomplished artist, quotes and says, I owe it to him to make sure that people don't forget what he contributed musically to the world, and for what he contributed to my career and the other brothers he worked with. This just goes to show how the legacy of Nujabes and influence of lo-fi hip-hop has done for other artists. And even though he passed away late in 2007, it's just nice to see how artists want to continue his style, his legacy, and really just goes to show what the influence he has on people and what lo-fi hip-hop has on other people. So you know, it's cool to see. My third source is another YouTube video titled How Lo-Fi Took Over YouTube by Emperor. He quotes and says, no one is expecting lo-fi to sound professional. It's supposed to sound raw. Lo-fi hip-hop sound stems from the 90s when artists tend to rely heavily on sampling. This just shows the unique style of lo-fi hip-hop. Most songs have to be perfected to the core, whether it be about the right vocals, the right beat drop, and just overall certain knickknacks. But for lo-fi hip-hop, it's just really just make sound and go with the flow, you know. And unique sampling is heavily used and it's not often seen nowadays. So that just goes to show its unique style. Fourth source is an article titled The Connection Between Lo-Fi Hip-Hop and Anime. A lo-fi hip-hop producer named Kisa states that a lot of us new producers grew up watching Toonami. Those grooves with the cuts from featured anime were huge to us. I myself cite Nujabes, Dilla, and Physics Origami as some of my biggest inspirations in that area. And another example of how the influence of lo-fi hip-hop has on certain artists and the music industry, you know. It definitely inspires young producers, especially the likes of Nujabes and Dilla, who are very well acclaimed and often considered as one of the best producers ever. My final source, titled What is Lo-Fi? Meaning of Lo-Fi, Anime and Hip-Hop by Lander. It has Fat John come on there and talk about lo-fi hip-hop. He states that it's music to think. It's something that allows you to do what you need to do, whether it be calming or the rhythm of the sound can get you in a state of focus to relax. And this just goes to show, again, lo-fi hip-hop's uniqueness and how it's different from the other genres. And also having Fat John come and state that what he thinks lo-fi hip-hop music is to him. And if you don't know, Fat John is another famous lo-fi hip-hop producer who worked on the Samurai Champloo soundtrack. So it's just cool to see how he thinks and what he feels like the genre is to him. As I start to wrap up this episode, and as your host, I want you guys to understand the importance of lo-fi hip-hop and how it influenced and impacted society and the music industry. Music has the power to shape and transform our experiences, and I believe after this discussion, you will find a new perspective or appreciation of lo-fi hip-hop or just music in general. And I hope what I discussed today can resonate in your life. As an audience, I challenge you to explore and do research on the world of music, whether it be about anything. Let it be your inspiration. Find out different things. Let melodies guide you and try to get out of the box that people try to put you in. Open your mind and find all that creativity inside your head. Whether you're an artist or listener, take that first step. Pick up an instrument or make some sound. Anything really. Just keep on doing you. Thank you for tuning into my podcast. I hope this episode has helped better your understanding of lo-fi hip-hop and the style in general. I've been your host, Amir Assail, and I hope you have a great day.